Dr. Ashley Southard here for Way Out Wednesday. I'm coming to you from Scottsdale, Arizona with a new beginning and the healthy way out. And I am so excited about this month's topic. We're talking about the function of your overeating. Why do you do this behavior that you don't want to be doing? You know it comes with negative side effects, and yet you still find yourself standing in front of the refrigerator and the pantry eating even when you're not hungry. What is that about? Well, we're going to talk about what that's about. And today I'm going to talk about the most common function of overeating that I hear from my clients. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek that none of these 5 functions have anything to do with a lack of willpower. So today's function is looking at overeating as a way to deal with feeling overwhelmed. I'm guessing a lot of you can relate to this. So feeling overwhelmed happens when there's too much coming at us. There's too much stimulation from the environment, too much noise, too much going on, too many people, and it's also having too much to do in too little time. Isn't that the definition of stress, right? So it's feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, overcommitted, and just overtaxed. And our system then is looking for a way to calm down, right? Well, food is actually a very powerful way to biochemically calm down an overwhelmed body. So when we eat starchy carbohydrates, which are going to be the brownies, the bagels, the potato chips, and pizza, when we eat those types of foods, it actually helps our brain produce serotonin, which has a calming, pleasurable effect on our body. And so we feel better. It makes so much sense that when you're feeling overwhelmed a lot of the time, of course you're going to crave those foods because your body is hardwired to feel better when it eats those foods. Now, you might be surprised to hear that emotional and binge eaters are more vulnerable to feeling overwhelmed more easily. So it's really easy to move into that state of overwhelm and then quickly look for something that's going to induce a state of calmness. And starchy carbohydrates are a really quick and easy way to get that calmness. All right. Now, the other thing around emotional and binge eating that's important to look at is that it doesn't happen in a bubble. So I don't often hear clients come to me and say, Dr. Ashley, when I binge eat on my starchy carbohydrates, I am sitting at a table and that is all I'm doing. I am simply focusing on eating. That is not what I hear. Instead, what I hear is when I'm overwhelmed and stressed out, I start thinking about the food I'm going to eat. I can't wait to eat it. I start planning it out, where I'm going to get it, what brands I'm going to buy. And then I look forward to when I can finally get home, because it often happens in isolation when no one's around. I can finally get home. I'm going to turn off my phone, turn off my emails, get all of my responsibilities taken care of. And then finally, maybe at 9 o'clock at night, I am going to get my favorite food. I'm going to sit on my favorite spot in the couch. I'm going to put on my favorite blanket, and I'm going to turn on my favorite show. Finally, I can check out, unwind, relax. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to talk to anybody. It is a wonderful state of calmness. And the overeating is just one part of that calmness, right? It is woven into the whole experience of being in your favorite spot, watching your favorite show, and not having to do anything you don't want to be doing. So that is the powerful function of overeating for so many people, to calm down an overwhelmed body. So what do we do about that? Well, I think first of all, we really want to bring our awareness to when we're feeling overwhelmed. I mean, you can't change something that you don't see, right? And so first you want to notice, how often are you feeling overwhelmed? And you might be surprised to find it's pretty often. Once you know that you're feeling overwhelmed, then we want to be able to do some other things to help induce a natural state of calmness that don't involve food. Now, I'm going to give you 4 quick ones that you can practice this week. And the caveat to these is that none of them are going to feel nearly as good as emotional or binge eating, okay? The emotional and binge eating is going to give you a really high surge of feeling good, but as you know, it also is going to come later with a high surge of shame and self-loathing and beating yourself up. We don't want that either. So these skills are not going to give you the shame and self-loathing, but they're also not going to give you the same feeling of calmness and relaxation. but they are very effective, and the more you practice them, the better they work, okay? So the first one is to do some deep breathing when you notice yourself feeling overwhelmed. I know. You've heard this a million times. You're probably rolling your eyes right now when I say it, but it's so effective, okay? All it takes is about 30 seconds of just scanning your body, relaxing your muscles, and simply breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Practice this for just half a minute, and you will be surprised how much your brain is able to kind of slow down and get regulated again. Okay, more oxygen to the brain is a wonderful thing. Second thing that you can do, and you can even add this to your deep breathing, is just go for some gentle walk, some gentle movement. I am not talking about a walk for the purposes of exercising. I'm simply talking about movement. If you can get up from where you're sitting and walk to the bathroom or walk to the mailbox or just simply walk a couple of laps around the room. Just 2 or 3 minutes of gentle walking just to move your muscles, get the blood flowing, get that oxygen to your brain. You will find again, it will reduce that state of overwhelm. Okay. The third thing that you can try is to write down all of the things that are overwhelming you. You can be amazed at how helpful it is simply to get it outside of you. All right. And then the fourth thing that you can do that's related is you can vent. Tell someone what you're overwhelmed by. You don't need them to problem solve. You just need them to listen. But just again, getting it outside of you can be really helpful. So breathe, walk, write, and vent. 4 really quick and effective ways to deal with your overwhelm that don't involve overeating. Okay? So I hope that this information is resonating with you and that you're finding it helpful. Stay tuned for next week's Way Out Wednesday. We're going to be talking about a second function of your emotional and binge eating. In the meantime, I want you to pay really close attention to that state of overwhelm. Practice these 4 techniques and stay tuned next Tuesday for Dr. Julie's Eating Disorder Recovery Tips Tuesday. And then every other Thursday, she and I are going to come together and do our From Hunger to Fulfillment Q&A series where we answer your questions about recovery. All right. I hope you have a great week. I can't wait to see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.